got mine running over here. So it'll be your mass airflow sensor over there, which obviously yours will be flipped that way since I ain't put my battery on this.
How y'all doing? It's your boy Q. Man, I had to wait for my boy to get out of Bible study. My boy Ed, I can't knock nobody in Bible study. I need to be there too. But I was at a birthday get together, a birthday pool party. And next one, I gotta go drop off a couple of dollars to my boy. Cause hey, when I said I dropped my call, he been connecting with me every day since I dropped my call. That boy Ed he's something else, man. Like I said, I'm still shocked and surprised about all the cars he done put together. I ain't know he put that many cars together, y'all. But I'm about to go holler at my boy right quick. Like I said, he informed me about so much stuff. Man, he educated on these cars, man. Like I said, finna touch down with him in a minute. I say abracadabra, abracadabra. Smell good. It smell like work going on in here.
It's going, man. It's going.
But hey, you educated me more than somebody else educated me.
I got about 90% of the wiring done. Got most everything. Well, just route, everywhere. Got to get those sensors. Obviously the coils so I'm hoping the brackets that I sent you, I'm praying that they mount. Okay, you kind of it's kind of rough. So just no pre-planning. I know what they was thinking when they did the valve covers, and these valve covers are strictly for technically race. So it's not a good street valve cover to mess with unless you got the space. But you can make anything work. So kind of like them core brackets I was showing you, like mount on the side. Over there, kind of got some space and kind of put them right there. On there. It's kind of tough on the Gbody, one because you got plastic in the fender wells. So now you kind of got to do like a bolt and a little stud and washer, kind of run from the back fender well, trying to hold it because it ain't metal. So run sheet metal tube. Then on this side, it's just gonna be really hard to get them in here and keep them away from heat. Because the fender well, like AC, all this stuff.
My guy say, if I show my guy when I was at the pool party, he was up there talking about down there would be the best way. Could be cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I sent you that one, the guy had them mounted down here on the truck. Okay, and that's fine. We can mount them down there, make it like a little bracket, and mount them down there low. The tough part about it is, I mean, it ain't tough. It's just something you have to know. When you relocate them, obviously your spark plug wire is gonna get long. So they gotta be either MSD. I think Gbody makes some. It's only a few companies that pre-make some to your link. Other than that, you're gonna have to make them yourself. So the downside is, for me, I always try to tell people, economics is always just gonna be your best bet. If you have a plug to go bad or a wire, you can go to a parts store like your truck, go get it. But man, if you got to make one, you're gonna have to have crimpers, gotta have a tool, and then every time you buy some spark plug wires, they sell them in a set. So you come between 120 to right at $300 for extended link wire. So you talking like the back wire to go from there to there.
So wire, the best part of
that wire gonna be that long. So if you have a wire that burns, and that one wire burn, where you gonna find a wire that long for an LS engine? Most all your LS engine wires are that long.
So probably my best bet part of the ones that go over.
Yeah, the ones that go over, and the biggest thing is I got to call them and see, because it looks like they mount to the fuel rail, folks. Well, this is a fast intake. So now, fuel rail bolts are on the other side of this.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, so I don't know with these custom fuel rails being a fast, because they were set up for a factory intake. And this is, obviously a custom one, but I'm going to call them to see will they fit a fast one. Because the fast already got their stuff bolted down to it right here. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you can catch on the backside of the fast, because they do have the bolts going on the backside. So it may catch here and bring them up there. So which obviously your coil plug will still snap into them. You don't have to buy the extender harness. Got a couple more feet on them. The firewall, putting them on the firewall, which is gonna make the plug wires go long. And they won't have to come up here.
We thought about doing on the firewall earlier.
Yeah. So then the firewall, they're gonna probably go all the way over there on the firewall.
That wouldn't bother me if you went all the way up
on the firewall. So it's just kind of like. Matter of fact, let me just show you. So, like in your mind, you seeing it like this car.
Ain't no thing, y'all.
So this 4. So 8 should be about this length. But all these you just stand up. So if you stand them up, you actually probably could get one in between here. So I ain't talking about. You see what I'm saying?
That's just 4.
That's just 4. So you're gonna have 2 brackets that's mounting 4 and 4 for each side. Uh-huh. So you're trying to squeeze them all in here. I ain't saying that it can't be done, because you can turn them sideways and pack them together. So you might have 4 right here and 4 right there. But now you got to get to all 8 of these. That's gonna be on the extension harness 9, and you got to get to all 8 of these to be able to see. Now once you get back over here, you're trying to snap a spark plug wire, and which you can take the bracket off, snap them in, then you just have to mount it back like this. Okay, then your throttle cable got to come out of here. So now you got to make sure you miss the throttle cable coming out of there. And then obviously if you do have wipers, so if that arm move, it's gonna hit all that. So it's
I ain't doing no wiper. You see, I took the motor out.
So yeah, so I saw the wipers was gone, so I said, well, it's kind of, and I just still, actually getting the brackets in hand to see how big that bracket is, that mounting bracket, that you can mount them to the wall. How cumbersome it is. Now, this is, like I said, this is a factory one. So, but like I said, so now it's kind of tough because the name on there, and these was never designed to put a coil on them at all. The valve covers wasn't. Factory had obviously holes where it mounts, bam, right there. Obviously that will cover up your thing. So now, even moving them up there, I don't know how. So you still be able to see the name pretty good, So it's kind of one of those things. You still see it pretty good. I mean, once you throw a wire on there, I think you'll still be able to see it pretty good, but you'll be from the side, So it's kind of one of those things. Because like I said, that extension harness, so it got to be able to plug into this that ties all 4 of them together. This has to be able to snap into the harness. So that's kind of how the 4 is made. Which the bracket, obviously it's a little cleaner than a factory bracket, so it don't look as cumbersome. I think it's stopped like up underneath here, so it is, kind of hide all that where you just see in the coils. But it's kind of one of those things, Yeah, and that's kind of the planning and like seeing it in real life. That's why I sent you that one with the cutlass. That guy had him on that green one, and he had the coil pieces up there. But obviously putting a name on it, that those his didn't have no name on it. I think his was just green.
Just green.
Yeah,
I looked at that.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things with the name. Now you spent the money for that, so you want to show it. So that's the tough part. So 4 going there, I think it'll be fine. I mean, we can mount them here, so that part won't be a problem. Getting 4 right here, because then the wires shouldn't be that long. So that should even keep the wires down to a minimum. The price of them, kicking over there to the side. Praying that these headers don't give us a problem. Boie already ran into one problem with this header. So the O2 sensor is scratching my head now. So I was up underneath there. I've got the transmission stuff plugged in, and when I was done, I saw the O2 sensor wire because I ran the O2 sensor plugs down there. And this one gonna be touching the transmission. So I don't think the O2 sensor bung is kind of in the way. It's not a big deal. I mean, the muffler shop can move it. So it's just the style headers. Kind of buying them, you kind of have to pay attention to a lot of that little stuff. Because sometimes people sell them and they design for a certain transmission. Like these, probably most likely 9 times out of 10, they was designed for a 6-speed.
That's a 60, right? 4L60, right?
Yeah, that's a 4L60. So 6-speed is kind of a narrow transmission. 4L60, 480, they wide. So they get closer to your headers, and it's just one of them things you read in the paperwork when you get them, you know, say fits a Gbody, fits a Colors, but then you got to go in there and look at them little notes that say 6-speed transmission or, you know, T7080 or something, you know. Then valve covers, I guess we're going to have to, I'm not sure if y'all talked about that. I mean, running a kiss can, I mean, it's set up for 6 a.m. vacuum ports. So we're going to try to run a kiss can, or we're going to do, I mean, this is an 8 a.m. It's an 8 a.m. I mean, vacuum ports. So normally this one goes to the intake. So there has to be like a 90 or elbow put on there. And I can get one of these made, the crossover tube for the rear rail. I'll find some black fittings. Should be able to have some black fittings. Do the crossover tube. But this one normally goes with PVC. So you put a 90 or something on that. I can get the little fit to put a 90. So normally it runs around, and we got this blocked off. But anyways, we got this throttle body, so we're gonna be swapping throttle body. Technically, it normally go around and go to the throttle body. This one normally goes to the vacuum port on the intake for us to get the vacuum and basically for your emissions. It's just kind of sucking fuel and stuff back. The gases, the emission stuff back and forth around. So, and I got to order a fitting because it wasn't a fitting in for the power steering pump for the line to convert it. Got to convert it to 6 a.m. So it's just a little small stuff for just a Corvette power steering pump, and they normally don't send a fitting with them at all, with no company. You just got to buy them. It was on ICT Billet website. They probably just didn't see it. That, you know how I drop down and say recommended, because your line got to go behind here, and so you got to get the line away from behind your belt so you can even bolt it up. So they got an extender that brings the line like down here, but that line has to go basically straight behind here. So right now it would kind of hit the pulley, so you got to get it down where we can make a line that'll fit. But that's kind of a few fittings that you got to buy. So anyway, it's kind of like it's just kind of one of those things. Kind of the pre-planning, like a lot of stuff. Most people, if they hadn't done enough of it, it's kind of like this. I mess with it like so much. All the pre-planning comes in your mind when somebody tell you what you want, what they gonna do. So then, therefore, they could have steered you away from a couple things just to help you in the future. You know, like the Coil covers. Obviously, they could have did the ones where brought it up high and it covered the coils. Would have been up under there and still got your etching on there. Like we got Jackie's. He got the billet ones, but they make some smooth ones. And then they would just been this tall, but obviously the coils would have been up under them, and you still would have had your name on there, where it still hide the covers. And it's just kind of all on what a person want. My mind is always go strictly to ease of maintenance, 100%. So that way, if you in Memphis, you down the street, you can go to AutoZone or Rally. So doing this obviously helps a lot, because all the ICT billet stuff kind of runs all the factory stuff, so that's good. You can get replacement parts anywhere for tensioners. That stuff always works good. But when you start getting to simple stuff like plugs, wires, just injectors, stuff like that, some people buy a lot of aftermarket stuff, but then the aftermarket stuff is stuff that you got to order every time you need a piece. Like, man, I gotta call Summit, I gotta call Jigs, or so sometimes you just have to watch that. And they're just coming to pre-planning from running into it before. If you ain't never ran into it before, you don't think about it. So it's nothing big. All the things we running into, we can get around it. It's just, kind of going around a second time when they could have saved if they had did this or that first. It would have just saved it a little bit. So it's not a biggie, but so we getting there.
Yeah.
So I got it where the mount. I got a computer here mock up. I normally like to mount them in the Gbody, so obviously the computer go down here, bolt up down here. So I trim the box back where to sit, and I'll make a bracket piece that holds it. And we can either paint it black. Normally I paint them black, so you just don't even pay attention to it. But then your air intake tube can come over here and snake. Your actually air filter will be over here, so you actually never see it. So that's why I was asking about what side the battery gonna be on. So then now to get the battery cables, we got to go from this side because the LS starter's on this side. So we got to go from here, the hot cable, and go over there, which Oldsmobile was on that side, and it went right there. So just ordering the longer battery cable, and I'll snake it across the bottom of the motor, kind of like the factory Chevy trucks did. So they actually started here, and they battery cables. The factory one goes under the motor, and then it comes out on that side anyway. So, which is cool because you got to run your alternator wire for a bigger charging wire for your alternator. Run it to the starter, obviously in the battery post, and then I think the wire from. I think it's long enough on your cooling fan relay. When I looked at it in the box, I found a good spot to mount that for your fuse box. So, and I'm gonna mount the fan relay box right behind it, so that way all your fuses will be right here. And you can get to them easy, just pop the hood like a factory car, get to them easy. And if it's nice, I'll add a couple more of these, bring the nice tie, the wire harness tie back to here, and catch the factory bolt locations, all that'll tie around since you already got a factory loom, and obviously heat hoses, they're gonna go down around here, and obviously they gotta go up underneath there, so for your 2 heat hoses on the Oldsmobile. So we're gonna figure it out though. Trying to snake everything where it's kind of, tucked back, kind of out the way, the best you can. So, but I got everything ran down there, everything plugged in except for starter, the water temp sensor. You got to get a water temp sensor. So, but I'll pick all those. I'll just pick that stuff up locally here at the parts store. I can just kind of come up with that stuff. So kind of running all the wires, make sure everything where it needs to go. So basically, I got left hook up fan stuff and rear pump, ignition. I think that's fuel pump, ignition, switch, brake switch stuff. So we getting there. I'll take all this stuff inside, so over 240 on the dash. Plug in when they need to tune it. So, and just pop it off. They can plug into it when anybody get ready to tune it, and then they plug into it. So we getting there. That's just kind of one thing. Trying to find a good spot. Bring that through in there, and then hopefully try to get this finished by tomorrow, and hopefully get these gauges in there tomorrow. And get a battery cable. At least I can start testing the wires, make sure we get power, ground, and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. LS motors, you want to normally do at least 3 grounds, so they don't have no grounds on the motor. So go from the frame to the block to the battery, block to the firewall, which they got. It's a factory one here from the firewall. I'll use that and put it back on. That's a factory Oldsmobile ground. But I always add some bigger ones. That way you just got bigger grounds. And so grounds is always a plus with fuel injection stuff because everything is electronic. So you want the best grounds you want to. So we'll catch a nice bow hole, put a ground to ground, nice ground strap from the block to there, and then over there, kiss the battery. And then too, that'll help you on your sound, like any kind of, noise, all that kind of stuff. Better grounds, yeah. Just putting the bigger grounds on while we doing it. Just put a nicer, thicker ground on there. So
coming along.
Oh yeah, it's coming
Looking
along.
good.
I want to be trying to at least turn it over by next week. Make sure we can hear some sound out of it.
Yeah, because this bad boy been quiet for 2 years. So
Yeah.
it's gonna find
I
out.
see the Furo, I think it's Furo hole they got on there, so I think they got it long enough, so I'll get a fitting. I see it right here. What's on this for the Furo, so I guess they gonna catch the back of it. I'll figure out the routing just to make sure it's not, see your gearbox every time you turn. I don't want it rubbing, because that's your critical Furo line. I'll make sure it's kind of out the way somewhere. And I guess I'm sure they put it on this side to keep away from the headers, which is a good thing. So, and now we just either put a 90 on it and catch that, but there's a couple lines. But yeah, everything, all injectors hooked up. This, put the last 2 grounds to the back of the block, and try to get the power steering stuff made. And I'll start figuring out on the air cleaner. I'll send you a few pictures on the air cleaner too, which is, it's kind of up to you, kind of like what you want to do on the air cleaner.
I saw people that got the one that split out.
Yeah, we got one that goes both ways.
I saw that.
Nice with the 2 filters.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I like the one just a single one go to the left. Just come out, bam.
Yeah, and then the mass airflow sensor, we get a sensor and it just plug in. So I kind of got it over here. Normally it just plug in over here, kind of out the way, wires out the way. It's kind of clean. Like I said, I did mine kind of. It's like I try to keep stuff simple. It's like, cause I'm always looking like, man, we got to do something down the road. Just don't want to at all. So I got mine running over here. So it'll be your mass airflow sensor over there, which obviously yours will be flipped that way since I ain't put my battery on that side. So, and just tube. Some people like a hard tube all the way. I did the soft tube, then the hard tube. I use stainless steel. Some people like to use aluminum. Stainless steel a little bit heavier, so it's actually a welded bracket under there to keep it stiff. But aluminum is a lot lighter, so sometimes you buy a stainless steel tube, you have to remember that it's heavy. It'll kind of want to sag down on you. So a lot of people use aluminum, but the stainless steel cleans up easier.
Yeah.
Aluminum gets nasty easier. Water leak, holes go. Stainless steel just wipe off aluminum and get them water stains in it. So that's just something from learning over time. And so like I did the cover. See, all my coils is up under. They're just.
I wonder how you were hiding yours. It's covered, okay.
Yeah. So those covers. So like you could have bought these kind and even etched that boy kill these kind because they metal. So they still could have just etched those, and they come off with just 2 bolts, 2 little bitty bolts.
Like you said, learning process.
And it's all the factory coils are just mounted right up under the factory. So, and just now I just bought the GPI wires, just the bigger wires, spark plug wires. So they have some, I think that was 12 millimeter wires that they say. I mean, it's just probably just a little better spark. But, it's just kind of one of those things.
Clean up real nice, I know that.
Yeah, so like I said, so we'll see. I have to get you a cable, to the throttle cable, and see, like I said, from the valve cover, it normally runs to this factory, and the PVC runs around, which that's under my cover. But we're just yours. I got push-on hoses. You're gonna just have the AN fittings, the nice kind of like I got on the catch can. You'll have those little nice little fittings, So. It's kind of like a lot of people, they'll just do all AN stuff. They don't want any push holes, but I did push holes because kept stuff kind of simple, black, easy to maintenance. Stuff just wipe off. I know I hadn't wiped it off from the 70 shipping for sure. Driving the cleaning time. But black and paint, less chrome and less billet. You just wipe it down and go. You ain't got to be trying to do a whole bunch of polishing and all that kind of stuff. So,
might have to go with that stainless steel because it shows shining over there.
Yeah, the stainless steel. And like I said, I just did it more just for covers, and obviously the band clamps is sport band clamps. I mean, they kind of street rod ones. You have to order them. Nobody carry them around. You have to special order them from. I think I got mine from Red Rocks by Troy or Ken Dig them. Like they sell those. They just call a diamond cut band clamp, but just give you a little fancier clamp than just a normal band clamp. But just to make it easy, you take stuff apart, regular filter over there, kind of got it out the way from the hot air, away from the front of the motor. So actually, I'm waiting on my alternator. Hopefully, it's supposed to be here next man. Supposed to be here last week, but they said that they had the bill and all that kind of crap.
They giving all them dang excuses.
Yeah. Well, they had a special going on, and so when they had a special going on for the 4th of July, they said they had a ton of orders. Everybody went crazy. So they don't normally do no sale, and they had like 30-40% off. And like everybody was calling them. So, yeah, like I said, you talk about like the billet hinges.
Yeah, come out to go on to get some of these, boy.
Yeah, so these like Ring Brothers. The only problem I had when they first come out with them, the shocks were too small. So these actually, and so I actually talked to Ring Brothers. A lot of cats don't know. I talked to Ring Brothers about 4 years ago when they made these. And they made these hinges. These hinges are actually for a second-gen Camaro. So they repurposed them for don'ts because the don'ts in the Camaros, the door hinges and the hood hinges is the same. A lot of cats don't know that. They don't really know too much about the GM cars. But so what Ring Brothers did when the don'ts got popular, they repurposed them for it, but they still had the shocks on there for the Camaro size hood, the hood hidden. So when you first bought them, after about 6 or 7 months, 8 months, opening and closing, the hood just dropped by itself. The shocks weren't strong enough. So once they found out, and you called them, if you bought them from them, you called them and they sent you the bigger gas shocks that was on. I think the old one.
Shoot, my hood fiberglass, so it's super light.
Yeah. So it's like, but I mean, anyway, you see, you got Ring Brothers in the hinges to make it. This effortless. You
got that finger, look at it, that one finger.
You ain't got to be jacking with it. And the old dumps you used to have to do the rock. Left to right. So, but this, everything is, try to keep it simple. Some people want more fancy stuff. Me, I just try to keep it simple because shit, I'm riding. If I got a breakdown, man, I want to be able to get back on the road like quick.
Exactly.
Fast, so, it ain't too bad.
Nice build, that's all I can say.
You got an overflow, so I did overflow catch cans, but I didn't have an overflow canister. You can mine, but you got the factory overflow canister. Them waters. You can swap that out. Just keep the one you got.
I wanted to change it because it's dirty, it's brown. I saw that.
I think you can get a factory cutlass one.
Cause I wanted to get one that was. I saw one guy, he put a brand new one in there. Yeah. It was nice and bright, and that dirty like mine.
Yeah, I think you can get them. I want to say they sell them for the Gbody brand new. I think you can get both of them brand new. That and the washer thing, like a brand new.
I'm gonna knock the washer out because I don't need it.
Yeah, that's true.
I think about taking that out.
Yeah. Normally when I do the Gbody, I used to put the computer there, or I put earpiece. Sometimes go away with it, and always easy. It mounts good, like right here.
I was gonna do away with it anyway because I do no windshield wiper, so I don't need that.
Yeah. Windshield wiper. Just take it out of there. Pretty simple, pretty cool.
It sure look good, boy.
Yeah, we'll figure out on this rear end. Everything looking good. Wipe it down, clean it up.
Yeah.
It's dust, so it's just dust, so that's a good thing. It's nice and dusty. You ain't got too much stuff to be trying to polish out. That's a good thing. The polishing down the road.
Lord.
Breaking your back.
So I'm ready to snatch that master cylinder down. Put the other one in.
Put the other one on there. might get that going this weekend for sure. Try to go and get it swapped out at least. And I call Wildwood, so I'm waiting on them to call me back to see if the vacuum plate stuff. Let's see where we at with this vacuum plate issue. I'm thinking they'll be able to swap the vacuum plate. So they vacuum plates actually have each one of their pieces got a part number on it. And I think all of their pieces, since they unbolt, I think they actually all are the same. Only thing that's different is this little circle piece. So, so it got a part number on there. So I think you can just buy that piece, and we just have to unbolt everything and stick it on the new piece. But hopefully, it's just one of them things. They say just a mindset back just to come back.
It look good. I ain't gonna hold you up too long though.
Just slow down. Lining them last wires up. I'm plugging in. I got the transmission plug in, so got the speed sensor and the transmission plug snapped in. Got all that routed down the way. So that's good. Figure out. I had to get up on here and just see where they got the fuel pump wire running. See, I'm not sure how long they made it. They got it. Up under the car somewhere here, let's get back to my tank. So I gotta crawl up under there and see where they said, because they turned the fuel pump on. So I think I remember, I know all the tank, everything is up under there, so all that probably already plumbed for sure. But I'll check it to make sure. I think they got it to fill it there, but they don't hear it back. Okay, you gotta put the filter.
Yeah, they gotta put it on. It was in that box. Boy, looking good, boy. Looking great.
Okay, yeah, you got the rubber.
Yeah, that's why I remember it in the box.
They ain't got no clamps out. Brake line. Yeah, I'm praying that I'm praying that them rotors that they don't change up their rotors on them at all. So I think they do. I don't think they change up their rotors. They did those patterns for the GM. So we'll see. Maybe we'll check that to see if make sure they didn't have a set of foot. It should be. It should be. Yes.
Boy, did I just get educated? Man, my boy Ed know what he's talking about, because I knew about 70% what he was talking about. Then he started talking about some other stuff. I'm like, but I'm glad he the one working on it. He know what he talking about. He know what he doing. He done done it so many times. He know the ups and downs and everything. He know the dot the I's, cross the T's, all that. But like I said, man, thanks for watching, y'all. If you haven't subscribed, could you subscribe? Click that bell at the top to get a notification, be part of the movement of that boy Q. And as we always say, thanks for watching. It's your boy Q.